This is a check-in for those of you that are followers and personal friends. The title of this is It's a Trust Fall. Before I had some recent events that started actually 3 weeks ago, but last week ended up with myself in the emergency room with having a near-death experience. I was working on these topics: integration after trauma. How does one fully integrate? The idea that death and integration are interchangeable. Death to the illusion of self, the global illusion of the soul wound that Soul Light speaks about, the illusion of separation. Die means integrate, to return to wholeness, to return to the one. It is our eventual destiny for all of humanity. We cannot avoid and go through personally, individually. I want to quote a book quote that I used recently on a podcast. Life is your medicine. Our life brings challenging situations, not to fix, heal, or change the problem, but rather to awaken us to the underlying gift being presented in order for you to return to love. In reviewing a recent homework assignment given in one of my programs that I do often for myself and was trained and learned probably about 20 years ago in heart and soul healing. It is to do a life chart review of this lifetime in increments of 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 years. Basically, whatever comes to you while meditation in a period of 10 years that seems important to write down and review later, to look at patterns, relooping energy that might be occurring in your life and on what levels of your being energetically would that be possibly stuck in. So in reviewing that, I also got signaled by the universe in a podcast that I was leading for an hour meditation, where when I spoke about a long time ago childhood trauma, my throat closed up. Needless to say, I wasn't very satisfied with the remaining meditation that I was leading with not so perfect of a open throat. Then I ended up in anaphylactic shock 2 weeks later from red ant bites in the emergency room, not knowing I was allergic to ant bites, red ant bites, fire ants, which then led me the next morning or into the hospital for further diagnostic testing, which was done under anesthesia, which is quite different experience of consciousness and the interplay that happens from actually a near-death experience, something that is controlled with anesthesia. I hadn't really come to that awareness because I'm not a frequent under anesthesia person. Anyway, in my life review, I had come to my awareness that around every 9 years throughout my lifetime, I had a near death experience, which roughly ends up about a handful of experiences. Three of them were very profound and different. Anyway, moving on, that is reflections of my personal recent events. I want to say I am taking time for integration of what has just occurred. This is me checking in, okay and fine. So, what if death, or the adage from Sufi poet Rumi, die before you die, is not the end, but rather restoration ignites an alchemical shift, experiencing the truth of who you are, and begins a process to fully embody it. Soul Light Integrative Medicine accesses your body where energy and consciousness intersect as a roadmap to gain wisdom, guidance, and resolution from trauma through integration. Want to know more? For details about personal private sessions and programs, mentorships, and group therapy, check out Soullight, SOLLITE.com. And I invite you to go further and deeper with me in this integration experience with raw talk videos on YouTube for real, authentic wisdom, which are produced on the Pause for Peace Facebook group, organized for people interested in being authentically real.